Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. When the history of Western civilization is taught, it often follows a very simple line. Ancient Greece created philosophy, democracy, logic, science, and political reason. Rome inherited Greek civilization and spread it throughout Europe. Medieval Europe preserved this tradition, the Renaissance rediscovered it, the Enlightenment modernized it. European colonists then carried these ideas across the Atlantic, where they influenced the American founding fathers, the Constitution, and the modern Western world. The story creates the impression of an uninterrupted intellectual highway running directly from Athens to Rome, from Rome to London and Paris, and from Europe to the United States. But real history was not a straight highway. It was a vast network of translation, loss, rediscovery, transformation, and cultural exchange. Stretching across the Mediterranean, West Asia, North Africa, Byzantium, Persia, Baghdad, Cordoba, Toledo, Sicily, and Renaissance Italy. Ancient Greece was not an isolated Western European civilization waiting to produce modern Britain, France, or America. It was an Eastern Mediterranean civilization deeply connected to its neighbors. And after the decline of the Western Roman Empire, much of the Greek intellectual inheritance was preserved and expanded not in northwestern Europe, but in the Byzantine and Islamic worlds. Europe eventually received much of this heritage through those intermediaries. Then, during the Age of Empire, European intellectuals began to rewrite the story. They increasingly described Greece as the exclusive birthplace of a civilization that supposedly belonged naturally to them. The result was not simply appreciation, it was the construction of a political genealogy. Europe was not merely powerful because it possessed armies and colonies. It claimed that its power represented the latest stage of a tradition beginning with Greek freedom and rationality. Ancient Greece became not only a historical society, but an ancestor recruited into the service of modern European identity. The first problem with the traditional narrative is geographical. Ancient Greece was located in southeastern Europe, but its historical world was the Mediterranean and the Near East. Greek cities existed throughout the Aegean and along the coast of Anatolia. The Mediterranean was not a border separating civilizations, it was a highway connecting them. The Greek alphabet itself was adapted from a Phoenician writing system. The word alphabet ultimately joins the names of the first two Semitic letters, Aleph and Beth. During this period, Greek artists adopted styles and motifs from Egypt and the Near East, lotus designs, sphinxes, and metalworking techniques. This does not mean Greek civilization was merely copied. The Greeks transformed what they encountered, combining foreign influences with their own unique debates and traditions. Ancient Greece was one part of an interconnected Afro-Eurasian world. Its achievements become more impressive when we understand they grew through exchange. The Persian Wars are often presented as the foundational conflict between a free West and a despotic East, a collection of city-states resisting an enormous empire. Athens became associated with democracy, while Persia was described as imperial and authoritarian. Later, European thinkers repeatedly returned to this contrast. But the reality was more complicated. Greek-speaking communities lived inside the Persian Empire. Physicians, craftsmen, and intellectuals moved between both territories. Greek states sometimes fought Persia, but at other times they accepted Persian money or diplomatic support in their struggles against other Greeks. The Greeks did not simply look west toward the future nations of Europe, they looked east toward their richest, most powerful, and most immediate neighbors. Modern Europe turned this conflict into a symbolic beginning of the struggle between West and East, but ancient Greeks did not live inside our modern categories. The second major problem with the simple Western narrative appears after the ancient world. It is sometimes claimed that Europe completely lost Greek thought during the Dark Ages. That is too absolute. Some Greek philosophy remained known in the Latin West through thinkers like Boethius, but access was severely limited. Knowledge of Greek declined. The situation was different in the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire. These were Greek-speaking Romans who copied, studied, and taught ancient works for centuries. There was no moment when Greek thought simply disappeared and waited for Europe to awaken. The tradition continued in Constantinople and other centers. It also entered another great intellectual world. Between the 8th and 10th centuries, a major translation movement emerged under the Abbasid Caliphate. Greek works in philosophy, medicine, and science were translated into Arabic in Baghdad. Many translators were Syriac-speaking Christians working from Greek texts. But describing Islamic civilization as a storage facility misrepresents what happened. Arabic-speaking philosophers did not merely preserve Aristotle, they argued with him. They combined Greek thought with Islamic theology and Persian traditions. Al-Farabi developed logic. Ibn Sina created an influential system. Ibn Rushd's commentaries later transformed Europe. Christian and Jewish thinkers also participated in this world. It was Islamic in setting but diverse in participation. Arabic philosophy became its own new tradition. Beginning in the 11th century, scholars began translating this major body of Arabic learning into Latin. Important centers developed in Toledo and Sicily. In Toledo, scholars worked together to translate works by Avicenna, Averroes, and Greek authors available through Arabic versions. The impact was enormous. According to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, this transformed nearly every major philosophical discipline in the medieval Latin world. European universities did not recover Aristotle untouched. They encountered him accompanied by Avicenna and Averroes. Thomas Aquinas' world required all of them. The Renaissance did not receive Greece through only one road. There were several, through Byzantium, through Arabic into Latin, and directly from Greek into Latin. The Renaissance was not the moment Europe recovered its own isolated property. It was the outcome of centuries of cross-cultural transmission. By the 18th and 19th centuries, Europe's relationship with ancient Greece changed again. European states were expanding their power across the globe. Intellectuals asked why Europe was dominant. One answer was a unique cultural tradition. Greece invented reason and freedom, Rome transmitted it, and the Enlightenment completed it. European power appeared not as a historical advantage, but as the natural outcome of a superior civilization beginning in ancient Greece. This narrative served several purposes. It distinguished Europe from the Islamic world and separated Greece from its Near Eastern foundations. It presented imperial expansion as the spread of civilization rather than the pursuit of resources and territory. It made the claim of ownership. Ancient Greece and Rome became deeply embedded in European elite education. Officials studied Greek and Latin before governing colonies in India and Africa. European empires compared themselves with Alexander and Rome. Classical history offered models for conquest, citizenship, and imperial mission. Academic research shows how the British Empire used Greece and Rome to legitimize its authority, claiming their heritage as British cultural property. But Greek and Roman ideas were also used to criticize monarchy and inspire anti-colonial thinkers. The same texts used for empire could be turned against it. The issue is not that Europe had no right to study Greece. The issue is that it presented its appropriation as natural while treating others' contributions as interruptions. The phrase Western civilization creates the image of a single continuous entity, but the actual transmission was fragmented and global. Ancient Athenians did not imagine modern England as their fulfillment. The tradition was preserved by Byzantium, carried into Arabic, and transformed by many thinkers. Modern empires rearranged this history into a family tree with themselves at the end. Near Eastern foundations faded and Islam became merely a messenger. That story is too simple. And simplicity here is political. It decides who appears as the creator of knowledge and who appears merely as its carrier. Ancient Greek civilization profoundly influenced European philosophy and politics. That influence is real, but the claim of an exclusively European tradition is not. Greece was embedded in the Mediterranean. Its alphabet was Phoenician. Its art was Near Eastern. Its texts survived through many hands and networks. European powers claimed Greece as evidence of their roots, while minimizing the cultures that connected Athens to the modern world. The more accurate history is not a story of ownership. It is a story of circulation. Ideas travel, languages change, empires collapse. One preserves what another loses. Ancient Greece is not exclusively Western European. It is Greek, Mediterranean, and connected to the world. It is part of the shared inheritance of humanity. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Next time someone draws a straight line from Athens to the west, remember it traveled through Alexandria, Baghdad, Toledo, and countless forgotten hands.